Hi students, this is Shatavahana. Welcome to online classes for intermediate first year, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Students, we are discussing the first unit of microeconomics. In this microeconomics, already few concepts were completed by the last class. In the first unit, microeconomics particularly, what do you say? In this microeconomics, we completed the microeconomics. What is the definition of microeconomics? What is the scope of microeconomics? And what is the importance of microeconomics? So are the discussed in previous classes. Today, I am going to analyze the macroeconomics. What is the macroeconomics? What is the definition of macroeconomics? And what is the scope of macro? And what is the importance of macro? And what is the define and distinguishing between micro and macro are the discussing topic in this macroeconomics. So let me say one by one here. See here, macroeconomics. The term macroeconomics derived from the Greek word makros, which means large. You know, the microeconomics and macroeconomics, two are the branches of economics. Already one branch completed. One branch means microeconomics completed by the previous videos. Today we are going to analyze macroeconomics. The macroeconomics, it is a Greek word derived from the Greek word macros. It means so macro means so or macro means so large. Here the modern economist development is macroeconomics as mostly closely associated with the work of J.M. Keynes. Already once again you observe the previous videos. Already I said that the microeconomics is totally depends upon the Alfred Marshall. The macroeconomics is totally means the macroeconomics development is totally depends upon the J.M. Keynes. After enter the J.M. Keynes, the scope and limitations and importance of macroeconomics was changed. So the J.M. Keynes was give a more effort on the macroeconomics development. That's why the macroeconomics development is totally it depends upon the J.M. Keynes. So that's why J.M. Keynes, John Maynard Keynes. So macroeconomics is also known as income and employment theory or aggregative economics. Micro, macro, both are the branches of economics. Microeconomics totally depends upon the Alfred Marshall. Macroeconomics totally depends upon the J.M. Keynes, which means macroeconomics is also known as income and employment theory. Macroeconomics is also known as income and employment theory, and it is also called as aggregative economics. Aggregative economics is nothing but the macroeconomics. Here, what is the macroeconomics? Which means it studies the aggregatives like national income, total consumption, total saving, and total employment, etc. Here, macroeconomics, the study about an individual unit is called micro. The study of all individual units are called macroeconomics. Micro means a single. Macro means the combined all together. The all parts let us analyzed. Which means, for example, this is a hand. Where this is when we take the hand, the single finger is the microeconomics. Simple. The single finger is the microeconomics. When we take the all fingers, it is a macroeconomics. Macro means nothing left. For example, if you take the classroom, the one student is called a micro. When we take the total number of students in the classroom are called macro. Macro means the aggregative economics, the total all individuals, which means the study about an all individuals, not single one, not individual units, all individuals, number of units, not left, isn't it? అన్నీ తీసుకుంటాం, మొత్తం పూర్తిగా కలుపుకుంటాం, ఏమీ లేకుండా అన్నింటి గురించి డిస్కషన్ చేయటం. Is it? So that's why the study about an all individuals is called macroeconomics means total consumption. Individual, micro, total, macro, total saving, total employment, etc. are the example for the macroeconomics. Then, according to K. Bowling, what he says that macroeconomics studies the national income. Simple. Study according to K. Bowling, macroeconomics is the study of national income, not individual income. General price level instead of individual price, national output instead of individual output. Only we have to take the general, not individual. Wherever you go, whatever you take, whatever you take the example, you have to take the total unit. For example, if the body is the total, means so macroeconomics, the hand is the micro. Is it? Suppose if you take the only hand, if the single finger is the micro, all fingers are the macroeconomics, isn't it? Suppose if you take the one tree of the forest, micro. When we take the total forestry, number of trees are called macro. Is it? So number of definitions. So easily we can give the example for the macro complete structure. The complete total national income, total consumption, total saving, total output. So total we have to take. The aggregate you have to take. Isn't it? So that's why macro means the study about an all individual units are called macroeconomics. So we can say here what is the scope of the macroeconomics, sir? Let me say here, macroeconomics has become the popular only after the publications of J.M. Keynes. You know, the J.M. Keynes, name of the economist, he published a book of general theory of employment, interest, and money. Before the 1930, the total world was, it is a press under the, what we say, depression. After coming the Keynesian theory, which means general theory of employment, interest, and money in 1936. Later, the economy was changed according to his views. Means so, on the basis of the general theory of employment, interest, and money, the macroeconomics deals with the general price level and its fluctuations over a period of time instead of dealing with the relative prices of goods and services, which means so macroeconomic studies causes of inflation and suggest measures to control it. What are the causes of inflation? What are the measures to be taken? And what is the poverty? What are the causes of poverty? What are the measures how to take to reduce the poverty in India? And what is the unemployment? What are the causes of unemployment? And what are the measures to be taken to reduce the unemployment? What is the heavy population pressure? So how can we reduce the population pressure? And what is the economic development? How to improve the economic development? What are the tools to be need, or what are the measurements to be need to increase the economic growth and development? So these are the remedial measures to be suggested in the macroeconomics, isn't it? The income and employment theory, the macroeconomics is also known as income and employment theory. So what is the country position? What are the measures to be taken to reduce the long-term diseases? What are the long-term diseases, chronic diseases? Unemployment is there, poverty is there, heavy population pressure is there, regional imbalances is there, and income inequalities are there. So these are the problems which are faced by the government of India. So if you reduce these problems, long-term problems, and chronic diseases of our country, and what are the major, what are the business cycles, what is the inflation, and what is the exports, and what is the imports? So how can we maintain the foreign exchange? So these are the issues which are faced by the government of India. So the macroeconomics can be suggest how to solve, how to improve, and what are the measures to be taken to solve these problems. So the macroeconomics is one of the supporting factors to the government policies, the government decisions. So it is always helpful to the economic policies. So that's why macroeconomics studies cause of inflation once again and suggest measures to control it, and problems faced by the modern economies like poverty, unemployment, population, economic development are the studies of macroeconomics. Here, scope of macroeconomics in here, it deals with the theory of distribution. You know, theory of distribution. Land gets rent, labor gets wages, capital and interest, organization of profits. So how the income distributed among the four factors of productions, how the factors of production, so getting the income, what is the factor pricing. So these are all issues are come under the macroeconomics, isn't it? So that's why this is the scope to analyze the major issues, isn't it? So that's why the macroeconomics deals with the theory of distribution, the causes of a business cycle. Already I said the causes of business cycles, the monetary fiscal policies which are used to control to business cycles for the economic stability. Studies in the macroeconomics. So this is the scope of a macroeconomics, which deals the all the total economy. The microeconomics deals only the single unit, but the macroeconomics deals with the total economy as a whole, isn't it? సో మొత్తాన్ని ఒకదానిగానే తీసుకొని ఒకటిగానే డిస్కస్ చేస్తాం, మొత్తాన్ని డిస్కషన్ చేస్తాం. అట్లా అన్ని విషయాలను డిస్కస్ చేయడాన్ని మనము మ్యాక్రో ఎకనామిక్స్ అని మనం పిలవచ్చు. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద స్కోప్ ఆఫ్ ఎకనామిక్స్. వన్స్ అగైన్ లెట్ మీ అనలైజ్ హియర్. The scope of economics can be briefly, we can draw a scope of branches, which means theory of income and employment. Simple. Income and employment macroeconomics is also known as income and employment theory. And income and employment theory means the theory of consumption. What is the consumption? What is the C? What is the I? What is the Y? C means consumption, I means investment, Y means income. What is the level of income? Isn't it? So there is a concept is there, and a theory of investment. What is the investment? What is the induced investment? What is the self investment? So these are the discussing topic in the macroeconomics, isn't it? So theory of income and employment divided into two parts, which is a theory of consumption, theory of investment. Then second one, theory of general price level and inflation. Yes, what are the causes of price increases of price? What are the causes of inflation? And what are the measures to be taken to reduce the inflation in India? Isn't it? So this is the uh, uh, issues which are deals by the macroeconomics. Then theory of economic growth. Yes, what is the economic growth? And what is the economic development? What are the measures to be taken to economic development? Or the theory of the economic growth is the deals with the macroeconomics. Then theory of macro distribution. Yes, macro distribution, land, labor, capital, organization, how the factors are pricing, factor pricing, getting the income in the factor pricing, the form of the factor pricing, rent, wages, interest, and profits. So this is also deals with the macroeconomics. Next, theory of business cycles. What are the causes of business cycles? What is the business cycles? And what are the causes of business cycles? And what are the measures to improve reduce the business cycles? So these are the issues which are deals with the macroeconomics. So this is the scope of macroeconomics. Then importance of the macroeconomics. What is the importance of macroeconomics? Means the study of macroeconomics more useful to governments. Yes, already I said, for formulating and execution of policies for the achievement of maximum social benefits. Yes, what is the level of the consumption, what is the level of the investment, what is the GDP, what is the NNP, so how to get the national income, what is the measurement, what is the calculating methods. So these are all the issued by the macroeconomics, deals with the macroeconomics. Then macroeconomics suggested how developing countries are can be used their resources maximum their growth. Yes, most of the countries are underdeveloped countries. So what are the maximum resources allocations, how to get the more improve the productivity, how to get the more production by getting the more and more income. So what are the measures to be taken? So the macroeconomic is always suggested to the backward countries how to improve their standard of living, per capita income, and the optimal utilization of the natural resources. This is always suggested to the governments, isn't it? So that's why macroeconomics suggests how developing countries can use the resources, the maximum of their growth. Then the study of macroeconomics helps to understand the problems, unemployment and inflation, etc., suggest how to solve them. So this is a uh, problems are which are faced by the government of India, and the macroeconomics is give the suggestion. Then it helps to evaluate the overall functioning of an economy in order to distribute the national income among the different sections of the society. Yes, we are getting the national income. So by getting the national income, the poor peoples are getting the low level of income. From the national income, the rich peoples are getting the high level of income. So how the national income is distributed among the total population of the country? The income, the total income, how to distribute the total population of the country? The poor peoples are getting the low level of income. The high rich peoples are getting the high level of income. So that's why there will be a variation in between rich and poor. It is a caused by the what we say, income inequalities. The poor and rich will be create the income inequalities. So this is also one of the important factors of macroeconomics. Then macroeconomics provide the solutions to overcome business cycles, help to the understanding the over the occurrence. Yes, the business cycles, the business attitudes, the business psychology, the business appearance. It will be make a sure to how to get the more profits, how to utilize the maximum natural resources, isn't it? Then the study of macroeconomics facilitates international comparisons of examine the information of national income, consumption, and the investment in the different countries. Yes, what is the foreign exchange? What are the exports and what are the imports and what is the foreign exchange? Isn't it? What is the balance of trade and what is the national income? What is the consumption? What is the investment? So what is the level of investment in those countries? What is the consumption level, investment level, saving level in these countries? So what is the comparison in between them? So these are all the importance of the macroeconomics. Okay, so this is the total information of macroeconomics. So the macroeconomics, the study about an all individual units are called macroeconomics. So macro means large. Okay, so this is the information of macroeconomics. So students, మీకు ఈ వీడియో నచ్చితే లైక్ చేయండి, తర్వాత మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్కి షేర్ చేయండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. Thank you.